retirecheap.asia. A couple things I want to do. The purpose of this video is to recommend a place for you if you're up in Chiang Mai for cheap, affordable breakfast, but also explain about breakfast, Thai breakfast specifically, because traditionally breakfast in Thailand is a joke. And I mean joke, not J-O-K-E, but J-O-K. Now, when we talk about eating in Thailand, a lot of times you can hear them say, "Hiu khao," which means, "Are you hungry for rice?" So, your rice is traditionally eaten at every meal in Thailand. And then it was funny because we gave lunch to an orphanage one time, and it was KFC, little boxes for lunches for kids. And it was chicken, French fries, then we brought some little snacks for dessert. And it was interesting because one of the little kids said, we were handing out the desserts, the little snacks, and one of the boys had a brother at the orphanage, and he tells his brother, don't eat the snack yet. We're not finished eating. Now they'd already eaten chicken and French fries, but they hadn't had rice yet. And so the little kid said, "No, we can't be through eating yet. We haven't had rice, so don't eat the snack yet." So that's how ingrained rice is in the diet in Thailand. So anyway, traditionally rice is also eaten in the morning for a meal, and it's eaten in one of two ways. One is khao tom, and that's rice soup. And say Thais will actually reverse that and put the adjective the opposite way and say soup rice. And you can have it with pork, chicken, shrimp. But it's basically a clear broth or a chicken broth or something like that with some rice, some cut up scallions and stuff. And it's pretty tasty. But the rice kernels are going to still be whole. Now, joke, on the other hand, is they boil the rice down and make almost like a rice porridge. And again, it'll have pork or chicken or something like that. Now, she just brought, this is the rice soup, and so I'll go ahead and do a close-up of that in a minute so you can see. Now, I'm at a restaurant in Chiang Mai, so it's I want to recommend to you if you're in Chiang Mai and you want an affordable, cheap breakfast. This place is called Khai Krata. Now, it's not expensive. It's inexpensive, and if you're with a Thai person, they can get their joke, they can get their khao tom. But for foreigners, if you want like an American type breakfast, they have breakfast sets here, and a breakfast set is only like 35 or 45 baht, and it comes with old style Thai coffee. This is hot coffee with some sweetened condensed milk in the bottom of it that we can stir in here, which is real tasty. And a little bit of green tea comes with the breakfast. And also some little mini baguettes. Sounds like tiny baguette. Sounds like Italian mafia guy. Hey, have you seen tiny baguette lately? So anyway, and then I'll show you the eggs as well. Eggs come in a pan, cooked up like under a broiler. And so it's an inexpensive place for breakfast. And speaking of old style coffee, traveling around Thailand, you'll see people making old style coffee, and it's cheap, relatively cheap compared to fresh brewed coffee. Now, fresh brewed, if they say fresh in Thailand, usually what that means is that it's ground, the beans are ground, and then run through an espresso machine, and they call that fresh. So your three types of coffee you get old style, which it's a Robusta bean that's ground up with a couple of other things. And they say it's actually, the beans are roasted with butter or something to give it a flavor. And I'm not sure about that. But the beans will be ground up. They'll put it in an old thing, looks like a sock around a wire. And they'll put the grinds in there and they'll pour the hot water over it a couple times until they get this really dark brew. It's really strong. Like I say, it's Robusta, so the taste isn't like Arabica beans, but it's got a kick, and I think it was originally used because the people were out in the field and needed that kick. So the three types of coffee you'll get is old style, which will be cheaper. You can actually get a glass of iced coffee for, I don't know, 20 baht on the street. There'll be people walking, going around in carts or something, or a place like this which serves it. Fresh coffee, which would be ground and run through an espresso machine. A lot of places say fresh coffee, and it's Nescafe instant. So you're never going to be sure what kind of coffee you get. But this is a cool place to eat. I'll show you the eggs. The eggs have shown up. Now I'll show you the difference between joke and rice soup. And so another thing you can do if you're here, and I'll put this on mapsandmore.com so you can actually see where it's at. So if you're in Chiang Mai and you want some rice for breakfast, or you want a cheap breakfast with some eggs and old-style Thai coffee, you can get it. But also, another cool thing you can get while you're here is you can get custom clothing made. Yeah, I heard the lady's dad sews up shirts, custom shirts. So you can get suits, shirts, all sorts of stuff while you're here as well. So it's full service, so to speak. So there you go. If you're in Chiang Mai and you want a great breakfast, it's inexpensive, or an old style coffee with a kick or some rice, this is the place to go. So remember, when it comes to eating breakfast in Thailand, there's always an option.